folks, thanks for joining me today. In today's tutorial, we're going to be working on a an art stone made by a mold from the Happy Dotting Company. This is size number 2, and I casted it, I let it dry, and then I gave it a coat of black as my base coat. And now we're just going to sketch on a tiki mask. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on this. So a few years ago, a friend of mine had asked me to do a sign for her deck, and it had stuff about doing shenanigans and things like that. And then they introduced a tiki bar just last year. So she asked me if I could make some coasters for her that had tiki masks on them. So I did, and I had so much fun doing them that I thought I needed to show you guys how to paint a tiki mask. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm just sketching it on right now with my general charcoal pencil, and yeah, I'm going to paint over top everything that I sketched. So for me, I sketch on my design and then I paint over top of it because the sketch is already then in my mind's eye. So I can still see the sketch behind the paint. And that's just how I work. It's not for everyone, but maybe you have a different style on how you paint. But this is how I do it. So the first color that I'm putting on here is Mocha Brown. And then I'm going to add some golden brown. That's what I'm doing right now, to give some light sort of, like the shading part, to show that that part is raised up because a tiki mask is made out of wood. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm just adding in a little bit of the light color of the golden brown to give that illusion that it is wood and that those parts are raised. And I do go in back and forth, blending in the colors just by using just strokes of the paintbrush, because I want those lines there. I don't want it blended with like a blending brush or with one of my finger sponges, because I really want the definition of the one side to be lighter than the other. And that's what I accomplished. I will be going back in and doing more, but for now I'm going to let that part dry, and then I'm going to put on my frame. So I usually do this at the end, but while the mask itself is drying, I decided that I would go on and put the frame on now, so that way it's done and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just using my favorite Glorious Gold by DecoArt and one of my dotting tools, and I'm just going around that circle that I drew on earlier with a compass. So I'm just doing a frame up of just gold dots, and that's it. Very simple, because the actual mask is going to be the focal point, and I just wanted to encompass it so that the visual is right on the mask, because once it's done, oh my gosh, it turned out so amazing. I was very, very happy with it. It was one of my most recently fun ones that I have done, that I really, really was excited about doing, and that I really enjoyed the process and was very, very happy with the final result. So I hope you stick around and you watch along as we put on some pretty cool colors that I put onto this tiki mask. So when I was doing the coasters, I had looked up different pictures off the internet to look at like different facial expressions, different headpieces, different colors, all of that good stuff. And I found that the majority of them had like earthy colors. So like this blue here that I'm using right now, it reminded me of the ocean. And so that's what I use. This is actually called ocean blue. So it's also by DecoArt. So all the colors that I use are like these bright kind of tropical colors, and I just had so much fun doing it. Like I'm just I I can't explain how fun this was to do. So so now I'm just sort of using my blending brush to apply more of the paint, but to get rid of those brush strokes, because I'm going to be doing some shading in this just by simply adding some white. I'm going to be doing a lot of mixtures of paint. So basically it's just going to be the original paint color. Then I mix it in with a little bit of white or a little bit of black. And it just gives me the different shades of light and dark of the, we'll call it the natural color. So now I'm going to put on his mouth, and I noticed that they use, like I said, a lot of blues, yellows, reds, things like that that were very tropical. So this blue that I'm using right now is called Colonial Blue. It is by Delta. Just to remind you that if I do happen to forget to mention a paint color, they are all listed in the description below. So just in case I do miss mentioning it, you can always go into the description and check it out. Now, these are just the colors that I have available to me. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to use those colors. You can use whatever color you want. These are just the colors that I chose. And I'm just giving you inspiration on possibly trying to make your own tiki mask and having fun with it. I just find that the tiki masks were so much fun to do. The coasters that I did, each one was different, but they all used the same colors. So their facial expressions were different. You can have so much fun with these. Like, make them have like a big nose or a little nose. You can have them with oval eyes or round eyes, or maybe their mouth is closed, or maybe it's more like a much bigger smile. You can change the teeth on them. It's, the possibilities are endless. There's just so many things that you can do with this. So the red that I used is Bright Red by Apple Barrel. I know that this red, it dried really, I don't know how to describe it. It was just very dull. So I was a little bit worried about it. But after I resined, it really popped. So, but I did have to put it on rather thick, so it took quite a while to dry. So any of the red that I did took a while to dry. So that's just the characteristics of the Apple Barrel paint. I found it was almost like same as the Craft Smart paints, which I will be using some in this as well. I find that it's almost has like an elasticity kind of texture to it. So it was something that you have to put on almost thick in order to get that color. So, but you just work with it. You figure out what the characteristics are of the paint, and you just work with it. So now I put some eyes on there. I used the tools that I got from the dotting center, and I love these tools. I go use these tools every time I'm doing any kind of dotting. They're my favorite. I love how they fit in my hand. There is a link in the description below if you would like to go to her store. And when you go, you can use my 10% discount, which is also listed in the description below. So there's a lot of really great information that I have provided for you. So certainly check that out once you're finished watching this video. And I really hope that you go and you check these other people out for their supplies. I know that the Dotting Center has tutorials as well on on YouTube, so you can learn how to do dotting, mandalas and things like that. So definitely go and check her out. So I put the nose on, and then I put a little bit of light. So it just basically added some white into the red while it was still wet, and gave it sort of that shine so that it looks like it's raised up. I use the dotting tool for making these really big eyes. I find that a lot of their facial features are very accentuated, so very animated and fun. So that's what I was trying to capture here. So I'm putting in his teeth, and his teeth are kind of wooden teeth because he's made of wood. So I am using a little bit of the yellow, which is actually mustard yellow from Craft Smart, and I mix it in with a little bit of golden brown, and so I put on his teeth, and I made them so that he had nice big chompers there. Just wanted to, again, it's all about over exaggerating their facial features, which was so much fun to do. And I'm using that same mixture of the mustard yellow and the golden brown, and I am doing the tops of the top part of his mask, which is done in almost like little sections, and just to add a little bit more light to it. And now under his eyes, I'm just putting on little tiny strokes so that it gives the illusion of wood grain. So that's all I do on there. I do go in and do some dark stuff. I'll do that a little bit later. And I'll explain that when we get to there. So now what I'm doing is I've mixed in a little tiny bit of black, like the smallest amount of black, into the Colonial blue. And that gives me this darker color, darker shade. So I was able to go in and give some details of where the shadows would be. And then I mixed a little bit of white with the Colonial blue, and I'm going in and I'm adding in the light spots. For the bottom, I guess that would be his beard. So I did that as well. And again, just using the main color, and just simply by adding white and black to the color gives me a different shade of it. So I use that for doing my shading, and it's very, very simple to do. You can mix it as much as or as little as you want to get exactly the color that you're looking for. And this is a really great way to not have to go out and buy the different colors of paint, because you can just simply mix them yourself. So, and that's exactly what I did. Tiki masks are very popular, and everybody knows about tiki masks or knows what they are. But I was curious to know what they were for, like what culture they came from and what their meaning was. So I looked it up when I was doing the coasters, and I found out some really cool and interesting facts, and I want to share those with you. So they're primarily known from Hawaii, and they were created as being both decorative and sort of like ceremonial objects. So they also often represented things like serving as a protector, kind of like what a dream catcher does. And they're symbols of good luck. So they were carved from wood, like I had mentioned before. And they had special features that, like on their face, that were sort of depicting different things about what the mask was for. So things like strength and resilience or fertility. So they were used for that kind of stuff, and they were hung on the walls to protect the family, to provide strength, and they were thought to bring fertility, so that if there was a couple that was having issues trying to start a family, they would have one of these tiki masks that would help with that. So I found it was really, really interesting in the culture of primarily Hawaii, and what they represented, and that their different facial features represented different things. So it was really, really cool that I was able to learn this, because then it helped me decide when I was doing the coasters. It helped me to decide what kind of facial features I wanted to put on them, and what they represented. So I did mainly strength and good luck. This particular one is more good luck. It's because he's fun, he's goofy, a lot of bright colors. And they would also decorate the head part with feathers from a bird or leaves from certain plants, things like that, just to tie it all together. So what I do in this one is I do feathers, because I wanted a lot of bright color. So that's why I went with the feathers. And I made them very animated, just like the pictures that I'd seen when I was doing the coasters. So it was so much fun to do. I'm telling you, I really hope that you give it a try. And you don't have to go into this much detail like I did. I just wanted to capture as much as I could in the way that I did the coasters. So, but you don't have to do it that way. You can be as simple or as detailed as you want to be. It's totally up to you. It would be your decision, because it is your piece of artwork. So I'm just here to provide you some inspiration, to maybe talk you through maybe things that you didn't know about, giving you tips and tricks on how to do certain things. That's what I'm here for. And if you keep coming back to view my videos, you're obviously enjoying them and you're getting something out of them, and that makes me very, very happy. So thank you again for joining me and going through this little mini journey with me on painting a tiki mask. So as I was giving you all of that kind of really cool information, I did a lot of detail work on the beard and his mouth. So I used black paint, and I went in and I outlined things. I put some light spots or some gleaming spots on his teeth, and really finished up the bottom part of the mask. Now I'm going to start working on the top, and I'm going to finish off the face part of the mask. So you'll see that I'm using that apple barrel red here. It's the bright red, and you can see that I'm actually blobbing it on, and I'm not really painting it with paint strokes. And it's because it's so, like, it's almost like a elasticy. Like it doesn't want to be spread. It just wants to be blobbed on. So that's what I did. And it, like I said, it takes a lot longer to dry because it's so thick. But it turned out really, really nice, and I was happy with it. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm all excited about this upcoming weekend, because it's Easter weekend, and I have done some tutorials that I will be posting, one a day starting on Friday. So that would be Good Friday. I will be posting Easter eggs. So these are all different designs using different painting techniques. and there is 4 of them. So starting Friday, and then on Saturday, and then on Sunday, and then the last one will be on Monday, I will be posting these Easter eggs that I did up for you guys to show you different techniques on how to do Easter eggs. It was a little bit difficult because they're not flat like this rock that I'm working on right now, and they did like to roll around. So there was a couple of oopses, but in the end, they all turned out really, really cool. So I really hope that you join me for that. If you don't want to miss, make sure you have that notification bell rung, or at least click it so that it lets you know when I do post. If you're new, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss those videos when I post them. And if you like this video, the best way to tell me is by giving me the thumbs up. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this guy. Let me know if you like the colors that I chose. Let me know if you learned something as to what a tiki mask represents. I'd be interested to hear from you. Always love to hear and read your comments. And it would be really awesome to just say hi. I find that reading the comments, it gets me really happy, I guess. Like it's validation to me that you are watching and you enjoy and you let me know, and it really, really does make me feel good. So definitely leave me a comment, even just to say a quick hi. It would be awesome. So I am doing the same thing that I did before with the beard. So I'm using the same paint that I used for the beard. It is that ocean blue. Nope, I'm sorry. This is the Colonial blue. And I've mixed in a little bit of black. And I put in some very, cartoonish shades for these feathers. I will be going in a little bit later with some black paint and putting in some feather parts to it. But I wanted this to be like very cartoony. I find that that's a lot of tiki masks are. They're very animated, very cartoony. And I wanted to keep capturing that aspect of it. So I'm just doing a little bit of shading. So I'm using the darker color because I will be going in with some black to separate. So kind of like a feather separates in little spots here and there. So you'll see what I mean when I get to that part, and it's coming up shortly. So, but I do the same with the red. I do the same with the ocean blue. I just simply add a little bit of black, and I'm telling you, it's like the smallest amount of black. Black is such a very powerful color that it can overtake. So you've got to be very careful with it. So I did that to put on these shading marks. And now I'm going in and I'm shaping those feathers. So I'm putting in those little notches where the feathers have separated from each other, and giving it a better point at the tip, and then just outlining it. So it's a very simple way to do this. Now, you could do it another way where you could paint it on with those little notches before you put in any of the details. I tend to do things backwards. So I put on the full amount of the shape, and then I go in and detail it afterwards with black paint. That's, again, just the way that I work. I find that it's the easiest thing for me to do. It's how my brain kind of visualizes it, and so that's the way that I work. But that doesn't mean that's the way you to do it. It's for how you want to do it. I'm just giving you an idea, okay? So it's just how my funky little brain works on how to make these things look the way that I want them to look. I had so much fun painting this that I want to do more. So I'm actually going to do another set of coasters. I have not yet started on them. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a tutorial on those particular masks. So like I said, I haven't started them yet. I do have some ideas in my head on what colors I want to use and what facial expressions I want to use. But before I get started painting them, I want to hear from you and know if you want to see me paint those coasters and how I do those. So leave me a comment below and let me know, and I will get started on those right away. So you'll see here that his eyes were looking fun and playful until I put his eyebrows on. Your eyebrows are the best expressioners. Can I say, is that a word? Can I say that word? I'm going to say that word. They are the best expressioners of how you are feeling. So eyebrows are probably one of the most important aspect of when you're painting on how you want your facial expression to come across. So I made these eyebrows slightly slanted and hanging over top of the pupil that I put on, to give them kind of like a like, hey, I'm here as the protector, and I'm here to give good luck. So sorry for that manly voice. But it's just something, I guess. I'm just working with it, going with it. But anyways, so I wanted to give him that little bit of sternness, like not mean, just stern. And I did that by just simply applying a slightly slanted eyebrow, and they meet in the middle. So you got to try to remember too, when you're painting one of these, that it is a carving out of wood. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're painting it if you want to continue with that kind of style. And that's what I did. So you don't have to, but this is what I did. So I'm outlining everything now in black just to give it the separation from each aspect of the mask itself. So I'm doing the top part, so this way it makes the feathers look like they are behind the mask, which they are. And then I'm just giving some little bit of finer detail. I'm using my fine lining brush. If you're interested in making your own, I do have a tutorial for that. It's in the description below. And it will show you how to make a fine lining brush on your own. And it's by using an old brush that has their bristles have separated, and instead of throwing it out, you're going to give it new life. So you just give it a quick little haircut, and it's good to go for doing some fine detail work. So check that out as well. So now I'm going in with, again, that dark color of the Colonial blue mixed with a little bit of black to give the shadow parts. And now I'm coming in with the lighter color. So again, it's Colonial blue, and I mixed a little bit of white, and this is going to give me that light part, or like where the light will catch it. And this is what gives you your 3D look. You've got a dark side, and you've got the main color, and then you've got a light side. And when you're doing it, you've got to make sure that the lights are always on the same side. So I put them on the top of the, we'll call those his bags, I guess, the bags under his eyes, and on the top of his eyebrows. So that way it shows that his eyes are kind of sunken in a bit, and it just gives that illusion of it. So now I'm just adding a couple of more little details to show that he is wood carving, and just making sure that everything is cleaned up. And then I'm coming back in with my fine lining brush. I dip it into a little bit of black paint that has been watered down a little bit. I just put a couple of drops of water into it to make it so that it flows a lot nicer and I don't end up with big blobs. Just another tip for you. and I'm just simply outlining. Now I didn't like that the the bags under his eyes were rounded because he's carved out of wood. It needs to be more sharp. So I just simply use black paint. I'm going to do it again right here on the other side. And I just use black paint and I paint over top of it. And look at it, changed the look of it completely by doing something so simple. And I am so thrilled on how awesome this turned out. After I resined it, the colors just popped. Just absolutely amazing. So I really, really enjoyed bringing this tutorial to you. I'm so happy that you stuck around. I know it was a long one, but it looks amazing. So I finish it off, give it a coat of resin, and it's finished. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.